मैम, इंडिया ने ऐलान किया है कि उन्होंने ऑपरेशन महादेव के अंदर जो 3 जो बंदे थे जिन्होंने पहलगाम अटैक किया था, उनको उन्होंने मार दिया है। सो व्हाट्स योर रिएक्शन ऑन व्हाट हैपेंड, यू नो, देयर इन पहलगाम एंड
You mean
आफ्टरवर्ड्स?
what happened in Pahalgam to begin with, or India's claim that they have found? I mean, where's the evidence that these are the people that did it? I mean, what proof have they got? I mean, have they provided any evidence? I mean, तीन बंदों को पकड़ के उन्होंने कह दिया कि इन्होंने किया है।
मैम, दे हैव बीन गोइंग अराउंड द वर्ल्ड टेलिंग द वर्ल्ड के हमने लोगों को मारा है,
Yeah,
और वो
I think that I mean, I haven't seen the evidence, and if it's convincing that they're all from Pakistan, I still want to know how they got there, how they broke through the security cordon in Pahalgam, which is very, very difficult to, penetrate. So I think that all this remains. I mean, and why it's taken them so long to find these people is another matter. So I remain a bit skeptical. But if they provide the evidence and is convincing, sure enough, that's fine. But can they draw the link between these three individuals and whoever they want to are blaming in Pakistan? I mean, they brought about a full-fledged war because of the unfortunate death of 26 people. I think it's disproportionate. You can't put. I mean, while the death of even one person is too much, you can't risk the lives of nearly 2 billion people in the subcontinent with this. So I'm really not sure what's going on, and I need to read more evidence before I can really speak about this. Why has it taken them so long? I mean, this episode happened. This tragic episode happened in April. And we are now in July, the end of July. Why did it take them so long? What's the reason? I mean, you need a more persuasive explanation. Just claims are not enough for me, at least. Maybe they are for you. You seem convinced that India has now, just because it's named people, everything's been settled.
No, everything is not settled. Ma'am, how do you see the response by Pakistan? क्या आपको ऐसा लगता है कि पाकिस्तान की स्टेट अभी भी इस तरह सपोर्ट करती है फ्रीडम फाइटर्स को कश्मीर में?
I don't know. I'm not privy to the top decision making. According to them, they are not involved in this. I mean, with great difficulty they've got off the financial terrorism. I mean, the Fatah, I mean, the Fatah list. So they'd be very reluctant to do this. But if India has evidence, we'd like to see it. I mean, we have always condemned Pakistan's involvement. Certainly in such acts, if they can be persuasively shown. After all, we all know the Mumbai attack. So I think that we need to see more evidence, and if it's true, then that's fine.
मैम, पाकिस्तान एयरफोर्स ने उनके जहाज भी गिराए हैं. हाउ डू यू सी द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ पाकिस्तान आर्मी एंड
The
पाकिस्तान
Pakistani Air
एयरफोर्स?
Force clearly did well, but it was a very short encounter, and so while one has to accept, I think the more important lesson is that the modalities of war have changed dramatically. Instead of boots on the ground, it's all now virtual war, in the sense that you don't see your enemy. The two nations. I think that's far more important than the performance of the Pak Air Force, which clearly is technologically advanced, while India was still fighting a 20th century war. So I do think that has to be, they have to be credited with that. But I mean, whether this means that they can find a long, extended war, I don't know. But we do know that future wars will be more dependent on air force than on ground troops. And it is interesting that the two countries did not cross each other's. I mean, they sent drones, but their planes didn't cross. I mean, they were all sort of on, they remained within their borders. So it's an interesting, I mean, I found that far more interesting. And to just sort of declare a terrific victory, as some people have, I mean, it was a short war. So it was a skirmish more than a proper full-fledged war. So I think it's been good. ठीक है, बच बचाव हो गया. I mean, is this meant to be, by the way, in English or in Urdu? I forgot.
मैम, आप
We've
जिसमें
been.
कंफर्टेबल हैं, इट्स ऑल राइट.
ठीक है, okay, fine, all right.
तो मैम देखें, अब फॉर एग्जांपल जब इन्होंने इंडिया को रिस्पॉन्ड किया, इनके जहाज वगैरह गिराए, तो हम देखते हैं कि अराउंड द वर्ल्ड भी एक सॉर्ट ऑफ एक रिकग्निशन मिली है पाकिस्तान को. अगेन वो एक थॉ आया रिलेशंस में अमेरिका के साथ चाइना के साथ तो चलें दोबारा से ये
Oh, I don't think Uzair has so much to do with the Pakistani performance as much as with the recognition by the Trump administration that Pakistan is sitting potentially on as much as a $8 trillion worth of rare minerals. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. And the fact that he's coming suggests that he's in a mood to do business with Pakistan. The only problem is that there's a China angle there. China has first right to it because they already have understandings with Pakistan. So I think that I think there is an element of that. I don't think that it's only because of the performance. He does like, I think Trump does like strong shows of strength. He likes to see that. And so that could play a role. But I think being the businessman that he is, quintessential businessman, he's more interested in exploiting, if possible, the possibility of doing business with Pakistan and its rare earth minerals, which have become the most desired resources of late. I mean, with China withholding their delivery, it's become extremely important. But so it's that potential. I mean, they have to be realized. It has to. The investments are needed to make that the extraction of these minerals possible. So I think it has a bit to do with that as well. And plus, he's interested, by the way, in getting a Nobel Peace Prize. If
उसके लिए तो
Obama got
नॉमिनेट
it, why should he not get it as well?
या
That I
उस
think is the key.
उसके लिए तो नॉमिनेट भी कर दिया गवर्नमेंट ने इनको
हाँ नहीं नॉमिनेट तो कर दिया है और आई थिंक किसी और ने भी किया है उसने नेतन्याहू ने भी किया है सो
हाँ
पाकिस्तान नीड्स टू
इजराइल
बी
या
इक्वेटेड विद नेतन्याहू गुड फॉर देम
या
बट यस उसने भी किया है सो आई मीन
मैम ये 27th अमेंडमेंट के बारे में आप हमें क्या बता सकती हैं देयर टॉक अबाउट 27th अमेंडमेंट
The 26th Amendment is big enough. We are just learning to live with that. Obviously, they are strengthening the hand of the establishment. I mean, the judiciary is being brought into line because it had fallen out of line once the I mean, first of all, the judiciary was prepared for the PTI, and then when the PTI fell and disappointed the establishment had to, because they brought in they inducted a lot of judges into the judiciary in order to serve the cause of the PTI and the establishment. But once they fell apart, they had to redo that, and it wasn't working. So the 26th Amendment was brought in, and now a 27th is being talked about. All this is meant to strengthen the hands of an already very powerful establishment.
मैम ये फेडरेशन के लिए प्रोविंसेस के सेंटर के साथ
I
रिलेशंस
mean,
क्या
one will have to see what happens. I mean, there are a variety of things that will have to be looked at. Well, I mean, I can't speak about something that hasn't happened yet.
मैम इजराइल is starving the Palestinians
G?
Israel is starving the Palestinians ma'am what's happening there
It's not new. It has been doing so for 2 years, and the response of the international community is horrific. Certainly, the nation states, the governments. I mean, now they're beginning to speak, but it's been going on for far too long. And I think, and this is an American-sponsored genocide and starvation activity. It's very tragic. It's very unfortunate and very
yeah
short-sighted. I think it has resulted in a sea change of opinion on the Palestinian-Israeli question. I mean, people who were earlier gung ho pro-Israel are having a rethink, and I think that is evident in the response globally, not from governments, but from ordinary people. I mean, so you didn't see this 20 years ago, and I think it's important to realize that that is beginning to make an impact. And notwithstanding the current attitude of the governments, various governments in Europe, in North America, I think along the lines, I mean, later on it will matter. So I think we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, it's unspeakable, it's unconscionable what's happening in Gaza.
क्योंकि मैम इसराइल ने इसराइली जो पार्लियामेंट है उन्होंने ये भी अभी एक नॉन बाइंडिंग मोशन पास किया है कि दे आर गोइंग टू मूव उन्होंने ये कहा है कि दे विल अनेक्स द वेस्ट बैंक एज वेल सो
वो तो पहले से कह रहे हैं वो कोई नई बात तो नहीं है आई मीन दिस इज देयर सेटलर colonialism in full bloom backed by the United States funded by the United States so I do think that they are going hammer and tongs with their plans. And I think that the more important question to ask is what's happening to the Arab world? Why is the Arab world mum?
Yeah.
The only country that stood up for the Palestinians and the Gazans in particular is Iran. So I think that's, I mean, what's happening to the great Muslim world? I mean, the Arabs are supposed to be the quintessential Muslims. उनको क्या हुआ?
क्या हुआ?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I mean, so they've all bought up into the geopolitics as dictated by the United States and Israel.
Hmm.
They're not prepared to come to the aid of the Gazans. I mean, and shouldn't we be looking at them since these are Arabs after all? I mean, so they're the closest.
So, it's
I
going to
mean,
continue.
Iran is thousands of miles away and became the target of Israel because it's been supporting the Palestinians vocally, whereas the Arab world is thinking, I mean, they're signing Abraham Accords. They are preparing to recognize Israel. I mean, if there were very good reasons to recognize Israel earlier. I do think the timing now is a bit problematic, more than a bit problematic.
मैम, पाकिस्तान के अंदर भी तो ये बहस है कि इसराइल को रिकॉग्नाइज करना चाहिए
वो तो
ये।
बहस है वो कहते हैं कि अगर सऊदी अरेबिया ने रिकग्नाइज किया तो फिर हमें भी करना पड़ेगा
क्या हमें करना पड़ेगा?
No, so but the question then again the question is what is the Arab world doing? I mean, what are they? So when we talk about the unconscionable actions of Israel in Gaza, why is the Arab world mum? How can they think of recognizing Israel under these circumstances?
डू यू थिंक दे विल मूव अहेड विद रिकॉग्नाइजिंग इसराइल? सऊदी अरेबिया करेगा अब?
No, that is what is being predicted through that the Abraham Accords are meant to be a step closer to the eventual recognition of Israel.
मैम, पाकिस्तान का तालिबान के साथ, अफगानिस्तान के तालिबान के साथ थोड़ा सा कुछ मामलात बढ़ रहे हैं, कोई इन्होंने एक डील भी साइन की है।
इसलिए रहे हैं कि China has given I mean has given a talking to the Taliban
हम्म।
that they need to unpair themselves from India and stop sort of causing problems for Pakistan, and they've offered them a stake in CPAC in the Belt and Road. So that's why, but I don't trust the Taliban. We'll just have to wait and see how effective this turns out to be. I hope it does because Pakistan certainly needs peace, and Afghanistan does as well.
क्या
So
टीटीए
whether, Ji?
टीटीए वाले टीटीपी को रेन इन करेंगे?
No, I mean that's what the whole idea is that Afghanistan, instead of harboring them, housing them, is going to not support them. That's basically the whole. I mean the talks that took place. That was the primary goal. So it is the Chinese mediation in bringing them on board, and of course, from the point of view of the Taliban, पैसे की बात है, पैसा आएगा उनके लिए, उनको ज़रूरत है. I mean, they're desperate for these funds. So I think that's what it is. But these things can change, Uzair. One
या
can never be sure what will happen. So I would be very wary of this, but watch it closely.
मैम, गिवन के पाकिस्तान की जो एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है, जो इस टाइम पॉलिटिकल सेटअप है, इसको ग्लोबल लेवल पे लाइक एक मामला चल रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, फॉर मिनरल्स एंड व्हाट नॉट। इमरान खान कहाँ गए? वो तो जेल में ही पड़े हैं। उनका क्या फ्यूचर है?
इमरान खान के साथ तो अब तो उनकी पार्टी के खिलाफ जो सजाएं मिल रही हैं वो तो दे आर लुकिंग वेरी बैड फॉर द पीटीआई इंक्लूडिंग इमरान. We'll have to see what they do to him. But I think the silence on the Faiz Hamid case is tantalizing. I think जब तक उसकी हमें कुछ फाइनल डिसीजन नहीं आती, वर्डिक्ट नहीं आता, कुछ पता नहीं चल सकता कि क्या होगा इमरान खान के साथ. कोई कहता है कि कोई उसका कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं था फैज हमीद का May 9 का. कोई कहते हैं बिल्कुल साबित हो गया है May 9 के साथ. सो आई मीन आई थिंक अगर तो May 9 के साथ फैज हमीद का नाम है तो फिर इमरान भी बहुत ही इज इन हॉट वाटर्स एज वेल बैडली. एंड उसको तो सजा मिलेगी. अब तो यही है कि किस तरह की सजा मिलेगी.
इमरान खान को?
अगर तो साबित हो गया कि फैज हमीद और ये दोनों इनका गठजोड़ था तो फिर सजा तो मिलनी है. I mean, you have to
हाँ।
understand one thing which I think Pakistanis don't seem to understand is that this was an attempted coup against Asim Munir, right? The idea was to bring about a change of guard within the army. That's a coup. If it fails, when coups fail, what
Yeah.
happens? You don't sort of put them into power in prime ministerial houses. You hang them or you shoot them dead. So ये याद रखने की बात है.
मैम मैं आजकल मेरा थोड़ा सा मैं मरकंडे काटजू के साथ मेरी उनके साथ जो जस्टिस है उनके साथ गपशप होती है, तो ही इज ऑलवेज टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्टिस मरकंडे काटजू इंडिया के जो हैं
He has
सुप्रीम।
very far-fetched ideas, I must say.
या मैं उनके साथ बात करता हूँ तो ठीक है।
वो तो कहते हैं कि पाकिस्तान does not exist. It's still part of India. Which world does he live in?
मैं भी यही मतलब मेरा भी यही सवाल है, ही वांट्स टू रिवर्स पार्टीशन एंड
I think he's just not. He's not. It's in the air. He needs to sort of get onto the ground and look at the ground realities.
yeah, yeah, he certainly needs to do that. So thank you, ma'am. I think it's enough for today. Maybe we'll sit
Okay.
again.
All right,
Yeah,
Azar.
have a good day, ma'am.